Hello guys, welcome my astrology friends once again. This is my new video. This time it's quite an important video because we're going to discuss a bit about the month of March. I guess you already know that March is the most important of all months in 2025, not just for the astrological energy and the astrological shift, but if you're a Muslim, this month is also very important religious-wise because this month of March is coincidentally the month of Ramadan. Well, there is no such thing as coincidence, right? So Venus is going retrograde, Mercury is going retrograde, there's a lunar eclipse in Virgo and then a solar eclipse in Aries, and by the end of the month Neptune is going to change sign into Aries. So this is going to be a very pivotal, very transformative, a very strong, this is a very life-changing month, if I can put it bluntly, simply. This is a life-changing month for all of us. So this is going to be my general and short take regarding this month of March for all 12 signs. Okay, for the first sign, we will start with the sign of Aries. The solar eclipse in Aries in the end of the month will going to happen in your first house, Aries. So this is for Aries rising, Aries sun, and Aries moon. But it will be much more accurate for Aries rising. So the first house is about the self, the identity, the aura that people detect, the first energy that people detect. That's the first house. It's also related very closely to your health, your well-being in terms of your material well-being, because the first house is how you approach the world. So there's going to be a lot of energy that's going to stir the pot, simply saying, when it comes to the solar eclipse in Aries. Not to mention that Venus is going to retrograde. In fact, Venus is already retrograde by the time I'm doing this video, and Mercury is going to be retrograde within the next few days. So all of those two planets will going to be retrograde also in the sign of Aries. So there's going to be a new beginning, because the solar eclipse is essentially new moon in steroids, right? But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of energy where you need to reconsider a lot of things that are connected to Venusian things that are connected to Mercurial things. Those are the things that you need to reconsider regarding your first house, because this will happen in your first house. The second eclipse that's going to happen in the middle of the month, the first eclipse is actually the lunar eclipse in Virgo, is going to happen in your first house. It's going to happen in your sixth house. Sixth house is about your health, your work, your daily routines. It's also about your pets, it's your rental situations. It's also can describe your enemies, especially at work. It's also about things that you must sacrifice in a form of service. That's sixth house. So because this is a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo in your sixth house conjunct the south node, so the theme is going to be releasing. And the sixth house also happens to be the house of releasing through service. So those are the themes that are going to touch you internally, especially because this is a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse describe things that are internal in nature. So the solar eclipse that's going to happen after the lunar eclipse in your first house is going to describe the challenge or the suddenness, a type of crisis in your first house. Not have to be a crisis, but things that you're not expecting. While this first eclipse, the lunar one, is going to happen in your sixth house. So first and sixth house, those are going to be the main houses that will be activated by this eclipse season on this month of March. And for Venus and Mercury retrograde is going to happen also together with the solar eclipse in your first house, because it's happening in the sign of Aries. Okay, this is my description and my explanation regarding those two eclipses and two planet retrogrades in the sign of Aries and Virgo. Thank you. Let's go to the next sign. Second sign we're going to explain regarding the eclipse and retrogrades for the sign of Taurus. This is going to be much more accurate if you have a Taurus rising, but secondarily, if you have a Taurus sun and Taurus moon, you can also use this explanation to describe the effect of these major astrological events. Okay, for Taurus, the lunar eclipse is going to happen in your 12th house. So it's a hidden house. It's a house where you connect to the other realm. It's the house where the separation between the material realm, which is this plane, this earth, and the other realm that we cannot see is very thin. So the veil is there in the 12th house. It's also the house that heavily connected to mental health. It's a house of isolation. So the lunar eclipse is going to happen here for you Taurus people. So if the solar eclipse happening in the 12th house, there's going to be something that is unsuspected by you, but very major, that going to stir the pot regarding 12th house matters, like I told earlier. Pay attention to your mental health, okay? Pay very good attention to your mental health. It's also the house where you can release all of those things that sabotage your life, but it's the things that are subconscious, hidden from you. Remember, Venus, your chart ruler, is already retrograde, and Venus will going to be retrograde, will going to do its retrograde motion mostly in the 12th house together with eclipse. Plus Mercury is also going to be retrograde in your 12th house. So this is a very important house for you because your chart ruler is retrograde in this house, and the solar eclipse is going to happen also in this house. So for you, the 12th house is going to be very pivotal for you this month, Taurus. While the lunar eclipse in Virgo is going to happen in your 5th house. This is a much more positive house. But you have to remember, this lunar eclipse is conjunct the South Node. So the theme is still releasing. The 12th house is the house of releasing. The 5th house is the house of joy, happiness, children, hobbies, fun things, and also things that it's basically the house of your inner child. With the lunar eclipse happening here in the sign of Virgo, conjunct the South Node, there's something about your inner child that you need to let go. I'm not saying that stop catering to your inner child. No, it's just that there's something regarding this house that's no longer serves its purpose for your greater good that you need to let go. This is internal because lunar eclipse is internal in nature regarding its energy. With the South Node, it's even more internalized. So there's something that you're going to let go there. Remember, this house is also the house of love, romance, and children. So pay attention also to your children. Maybe you will get some news that your children will go far away from you, or I'm not saying that something bad is going to happen to your children. No, it's just that the energy with this lunar eclipse in Virgo South Node is very heavy on the theme of letting go. So I'm hoping that you can prepare, but at the same time positive, because this is a positive house. So it's going to somewhat mitigate the negative things that's going to happen from this lunar eclipse in Virgo, conjunct the South Node. Okay, for Taurus, those are my explanation regarding this lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, this eclipse season in the month of March. Also, pay attention to your chart ruler Venus it's currently retrograding in your 12th house together with eclipse, and also Mercury that's going to be retrograding in your 12th house a few days from now. Thank you and have a nice day. Next sign is Gemini. For Gemini, this solar eclipse in Aries is going to happen in your 11th house. This is the house of friendship, hopes and dreams, networking, social media. This is basically the house where you tell the universe what you want. So this is the house where you also will get the blueprint by the universe of how to achieve your dreams. So this house is going to be very pivotal for you this month. Not only the solar eclipse that's going to happen in the 11th house, your chart ruler Mercury has already entered this house and will be retrograding within the next few days. So pay attention because your chart ruler is also here. Venus is already retrograding in this house, so there's going to be reviews, and more reviews regarding your Venusian things in your life and Mercurial things in your life, your chart ruler. The solar eclipse will amplify this 11th house energy even more. So a new beginning, but on steroids, and there's going to be, I'm not saying chaos, but the only perfect word to describe solar eclipse is chaos, but chaos in a way that align with your true purpose, true path. And because it's happening in your 11th house, this chaos that will align you back to your true purpose and your true destination is going to happen through the lens of the 11th house. Okay, for your lunar eclipse in Virgo is going to happen in your 4th house. So South Node lunar eclipse Virgo in your 4th house. This is all about the home or places that you consider to be your home, and also your family and your emotional foundations. It's also about ancestor, karmic things that you got that you get from your ancestors. It can also be described by the 4th house. So pay attention to those things. Maybe something is going to be released from your life regarding to your family, regarding to your home, or regarding to your ancestral karma. We also must pay attention to this lunar eclipse in Virgo, because the ruler of Virgo and your chart ruler Gemini is the same, right? If you have Gemini rising, this will be much more accurate. Even if you have a Gemini sun and Gemini moon, the ruler of those two luminaries is still Mercury, the same as the ruler of this lunar eclipse in Virgo South Node. So Mercury is going to go retrograde. So pay attention, review, and reconsider things that going to affect your life regarding 4th house and 11th house. Okay, this is my explanation for Gemini and the energies that going to impact Gemini people, rising moon and sun within this next 1 month of March. For the 4th sign, we're going to go to Cancer. For Cancer, this solar eclipse will happen in a very, very public house, which is the 10th house. It's all about career. Not just the solar eclipse is going to happen in your 10th house. Venus retrograde is also happening in your 10th house, and Mercury will going retrograde also in your 10th house. So there's a lot of things that need to be reconsidered regarding your career and your public image. Remember, the solar eclipse, even though the main character is the sun is going to be eclipsed by your chart ruler, the moon. So there's something that is going to be very affected. There's something in your life that's going to be very affected by this solar eclipse and retrogrades of those two planets, Mercury and Venus, from the lens of your 10th house or your career. I'm not saying that you're going to change career, but that's a possibility for this. I'm not saying that you're going to get some kind of earthquake in terms of your career, but remember, solar eclipse is kind of like an earthquake energy that's going to shake up your life. So just be prepared and positive in a way of your thoughts, thinking positively. Affirmations is going to be really needed regarding how to handle this energy in your 10th house. Well, when it comes to Virgo, lunar eclipse conjunct the South Node is going to happen in your 3rd house. 3rd house is about your vehicles, your learning, communication, skills, knowledge, and also your siblings. So something regarding those things going to be released by you internally regarding the solar eclipse conjunct the South Node, because the theme with South Node is releasing. So maybe your siblings will go far away from you, or maybe, I'm not saying that your vehicle is going to break down, but that's just a possibility that could happen. Your knowledge, maybe you decided, okay, I will give up learning about those things because it's not important or no longer serve my purpose. Those kind of things could happen with the lunar eclipse conjunct the South Node in your 3rd house in Virgo. Okay, Cancer, this is my explanation regarding this energy of March in your natal chart. Let's go to the next sign. For the next sign, we're going to go to Leo. For Leo, this solar eclipse will going to happen in your ninth house. This is a good house, a lucky house, so lucky you. The house itself is good, but the solar eclipse is dicey. It's a word that I've been meaning to give to the nature of solar eclipse. It's a bit dicey, not to mention Venus and Mercury. Venus will already retrograde in this house, the ninth house, and Mercury will go retrograde within the next few days. Ninth house is the house of, considered one of the house of luck. House of Dharma is also the house of traveling, higher learning, higher knowledge. House of publishing, the house of the father, is the house of the religion, is the house where you can see the world from the bigger perspective. It's basically bigger, better house, basically the ninth house. So the house is good, but Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and solar eclipse that's going to happen here will somewhat stir up this house. So it's a bit dicey, but it doesn't mean that you will not get something good out of it. You're a Leo, by the way. But because you're a Leo, your chart ruler is going to be impacted massively by the solar eclipse. Why? Because your chart ruler is the sun, and the sun is going to be eclipsed by the moon. So the shine of Leo will going to be temporarily dimmed by the moon. So pay attention to that. While for the lunar eclipse conjunct South Node in Virgo, this will happen in your second house. It's all about money and resources. Pay attention to your money. Pay attention to your money, investments, other things. Do not splurge regarding your money. I'm not saying that you cannot spend your money. You can, but do not splurge out of control regarding this. Why? Because South Node is going to travel through your money house, the second house, within the next 1.5 years. So pay attention. And this is going to be the first eclipse in a series of eclipses that are going to tremendously affect your second house, your house of money and resource. So pay attention to that, Leo. Okay, so this is my explanation for Leo, and let's go to the next sign. Now we're going to discuss regarding this month of March for the sign of Virgo. Virgo, you're going to be one of the two signs that's going to be the center of attention. Why? Because the South Node is in your sign, the first house. This is much more accurate if you have Virgo rising, but you can also use this predictions for Virgo Sun and Virgo Moon. Okay, South Node in the first house, basically you are asked by the universe to let go of your, I'm not going to use the word unworthy, but let go of your shadow side that has been blocking your path to happiness. This is basically what the South Node is asking you to do. Basically, the typical Virgo energy that is very critical, right? That is very attention to detail, sometimes can be to the detriment not just to yourself but to others. The universe is asking you to let go, not just because of the South Node here, but also the eclipse in the middle of the month. Lunar eclipse is going to happen here. So basically you need to review about yourself. Pay attention also about your health, because the first house is also about your physical health. So pay attention also. So your health, your physical well-being, and your personality. The universe asks you to improve yourself by letting things that are no longer serving its purpose. For the solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, and also Mercury retrograde, which will happen in the next few days, your chart ruler, and also Venus retrograde is in the 8th house. This is another quite difficult house to handle, because this is the house of your subconscious. This is the house of things that are hidden from you, not hidden, hidden by you, not hidden from you. A house that describes things that are hidden from you is the 12th, but the 8th is the house that is hidden by you, things that you're constantly hidden. So let go of that. Yes, the solar eclipse is new beginnings, but because there are two planets retrograding, including your chart ruler and Mercury, so you're asked to review about your 8th house. Not to mention, this is also the house of sex, intimacy, and the house of money, lots of money. investments, obligation, investments, bonds, insurance, debt, all can be found in this house. So if you're big on investments, stock exchange, pay attention to your investments. Something going to happen there, okay, because this is a money house. So Virgo, your first and your eighth house is going to be activated heavily this month. So just be prepared, release, accept, be grateful, and just affirm. Use affirmations, positive thinking, so you can get the most positively out of this very heavy events within this entire month of March. Okay, after Virgo, we're going to go to Libra. For the sign of Libra, the solar eclipse is going to happen in your 7th house. You already familiar with this house, Libra, because 7th house is you. 7th house is the original house of Libra. The solar eclipse is going to happen here. Not just that, your chart ruler, which is Venus, is already here in the sign of Aries, and it's going retrograde. Plus Mercury is already here and is going to retrograde within the next few days. So heavy emphasis on your 7th house. 7th house is all about relationship, marriage, the market. If you're a trader, or if you're an artist, right? Or if you're someone that work in the creative field, this is your audience. So relationship, marriage, this is the key words regarding your 7th house. I'm not saying that because of the eclipse and your chart will retrograde, you're going to suddenly get divorced. No, even though that could happen. Basically, you're asked by the universe to review this part of your chart, this part of your life, for the greatest good, for your greater good in the long run. Okay, and for the lunar eclipse south node in Virgo is going to happen in your 12th house. This is also good. Why? Because south node is the energy of the south node is similar to the energy of the 12th house. It's about releasing and acceptance. So it's good. With the lunar eclipse conjunct south node, something internal is going to be released by you. Something that is no longer serving your higher purpose, that is blocking your manifestation or blocking your attempt to manifest something beautiful in your life. So this is a good thing. Use the lunar eclipse south node energy to let go things that you no longer want to keep in your personality, in your subconscious, in your mind, and use the solar eclipse to review your relationship with other people. Okay, Libra, this is my explanation for the month of March and all the heavy energies that we're going to experience or currently experiencing for this month. Thank you. Okay, the next sign we're going to go to Scorpio. For Scorpio, the solar eclipse is going to happen in your 6th house. So Aries solar eclipse, Venus retrograde, and Mercury that's going to retrograde are going to infuse your 6th house with this very heavy energy. 6th house is about your work, daily routine, is about your physical health, and also about your pets, rental situations. And for Scorpio, this could also be your enemies, Scorpio, so pay attention. So this is the house where you let go of your karma through service. So with the solar eclipse happening here, this is a major portal for you, Scorpio rising, sun, or moon. This is a major portal for you to let go of your past karma through service. So this solar eclipse will show you the way. Even though solar eclipse can sometimes, the energy can be tumultuous, to say the least, it will be beneficial to you if you just pay attention. With Venus retrograde and Mercury going to retrograde here, is also a good time for you to review regarding your work, your daily routines, your life, regarding your pets, and especially your physical health. Good time. This is a good time to get a medical checkup if you want to get a medical checkup. And then for the lunar eclipse south node and Virgo, this is going to happen in your 11th house. Friendship, networking, social media, hopes and dreams, those are the things, the theme of the 11th house. Maybe they are friends that no longer align with you. You could basically asked by the universe to just let go of those people, because they will no longer in tune with you, your higher purpose, or will no longer be supporting you for the best, because you're going to a distance, and that person that you consider to be friends will no longer support you in going there. So this Virgo South Node lunar eclipse could trigger you, or could ask you to just let go. This is the universe basically asking you to let go. Okay, Scorpio, this is my simple explanation regarding this heavy energy for the month of March. Now we'll go to the next sign, the ninth sign, sorry. This is going to be the sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, this is the lunar eclipse in Virgo. For Sagittarius, this is going to happen, the lunar eclipse south node in Virgo for Sagittarius rising, sun or moon, this is going to happen in your 10th house. So something is going to be released regarding your 10th house, your career and your public image, okay, your legacy also. So maybe you will be changing jobs, changing careers, or maybe you will be changing department in your office, who knows. But basically something in your career need to be let go by you. The universe is asking you to do that. Not let go because the universe doesn't like you, no. But the universe asks you to let go because it's no longer serve your higher purpose for you, the greater good, the greatest good for you. While for the solar eclipse in Aries, this going to trine you. This going to happen in your 5th house. So the 5th house is a good house, and because Sagittarius and Aries both are fire signs, this is going to support you in a way, right? Because solar eclipse is a full moon in steroids, so it's going to be a major new beginning, but in a way that can be sometimes chaotic and unpredictable. So something in your 5th house is going to grow exponentially because of this solar eclipse in Aries. 5th house is your joy, your hobbies, your children, right? Also your inner child, your creativity. But at the same time, because Venus is already retrograding in this house and Mercury is going to retrograde in this house, new beginnings, major with the solar eclipse, but also reviews regarding Venusian things and also Mercurial things in your 5th house. I have seen some people, they get pregnant when solar eclipse happen here in the 5th house. So pay attention. If somehow you suddenly got pregnant because solar eclipse happening in your 5th house, right, during a solar eclipse, then there's going to be something karmic, very karmic regarding the children that's in your body, or the child that you're bearing in your body. There's something going to be karmic regarding that, so just pay attention. Okay, Sagittarius, these are the explanation that I can give you regarding this very heavy energies on March. Let's go to the 10th sign. This is Capricorn. For Capricorn rising, sun or moon, the solar eclipse in Aries is going to happen in your 4th house, together with Venus retrograde and Mercury going to retrograde in this house. So family matters, your home, your house, your foundation, your ancestors, everything is going to be turned upside down. I'm not going to use that word, but that could happen because this is a solar eclipse energy. It's dicey. We're not going to know what it is. So your 4th house. So pay attention to your family, your homes. While the lunar eclipse south node in Virgo is going to happen in your 9th house. It's going to trine you because Virgo and Capricorn, those are 2 earth signs. So the 9th house is a good house. Solar eclipse conjunct the south node here, meaning that you need to let go some things regarding your 9th house. 9th house is a very cerebral house, right? It's the house of the higher mind, higher knowledge, higher thinking. It's also the house about religion, philosophies. It's the house of the father. It's the house of luck. It's also the house of adventure, traveling. So if you want to travel somewhere, pay attention to that. Maybe you could lost something there. Just pay attention to that. Okay, Capricorn, this is my explanation regarding these two eclipses and two planet retrogrades in the month of March that's going to affect you. 4th house and 9th house. Those are the two houses that are very pivotal for you for this month, Capricorn. Okay, for the 11th sign, we'll go to Aquarius. Aquarius rising, sun or moon. The solar eclipse in Aries, Venus retrograde, and Mercury that's going to retrograde in the next few days will happen in your 3rd house. So something major, something that's going to turn basically this part of your chart upside down, or going to infuse a lot of energy here, is going to happen in your 3rd house. 3rd house have connection to your siblings, your vehicles, your skills, your knowledge. It's also the house of communication, basically. So the way you communicate are things that are related to communication, devices, phones, laptops, machineries that have connection to communications in your office. Those are the things. Your vehicles also could be connected to the 3rd house. So pay attention to those things, because the energies are not just beginning on steroids. The solar eclipse in Aries. Aries also the sign of beginnings. But at the same time, Venus and Mercury retrograde here, you also need to ask to review. Start and review. That's the key words regarding this 3rd house. And then for your Virgo, solar eclipse south node is going to happen in your 8th house. 8th house is the house of the subconscious, house of crisis, house of sex. It's also the house of the dark things in life. It's also the house of the occult, magic. It's also the house of investments, money. This is where you get the big money, the billion-dollar money. This is the house, the 8th house. So pay attention if you have investments, stocks, bonds, insurance, your debt. Pay attention, because south node conjunct lunar eclipse, the energy is released. I'm not saying that you could lose your money or your investments or bad investments, but that's just could be the case. So pay attention, Aquarius, regarding your money investments. Okay, these are the energies that are going to impact you, Aquarius. Let's go to the next sign. Okay, for the last sign, we're going to discuss regarding Pisces, Pisces rising, Pisces sun, and Pisces moon. For the solar eclipse in Aries, together with Venus retrograde and Mercury that's going to be retrograding in the sign of Aries, this is going to happen in your 2nd house. Keyword, money. This is all about your money. Review money, but something big regarding money is going to happen, because this is the 2nd house. 2nd house is also the house of your resources, and in health astrology regarding health, the 2nd house is about your neck and things that you put into your mouth, your food basically. So pay attention to those things, right? Because there is a review energy with Venus and Mercury retrograde, and a brand new on steroids energy with the solar eclipse in Aries. So just pay attention to those things regarding your money and your resources. I'm not asking you to spend recklessly, no, thankfully, because Venus, the planet of money, and Mercury, the planet of knowledge, is retrograding here. So review is good regarding your money. So you will be asked by the universe to pay close attention regarding your money, so that you can better spend your resources for your greater good. For your lunar eclipse conjunct south node in Virgo is going to happen in your 7th house. You, together with Virgo, going to be the center of attention within the next 1.5 years, because the nodes are in your sign. North node is in your 1st house, Pisces, and then the south node conjunct the lunar eclipse here is going to be in your 7th house in the sign of Virgo. 7th house is about marriage, relationship, audience, and also your market if you're a trader. So something regarding those things that no longer serve you for your greatest good or your purpose needs to be let go. I'm not saying that you will get a divorce. It could be. If that relationship doesn't serve you anymore, then this south node lunar eclipse in Virgo will trigger you to do something about it. This is also internal. So things could start slowly because internal, but then it will culminate, because eclipse either way will force you to do something to get you back online, but get you back on track, in this case through the lens of the 7th house, relationship and marriage. Okay, Pisces, this is my explanation regarding this very intense month of March, and thank you and have a nice day.